Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that we linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. And wow, what excitement there was around yesterday. Late last night, it was confirmed that the deal for Declan Rice to Arsenal has been done. Here we go, as Fabrizio Romano would say. It is done. It's all been agreed. We know that there's been a lot of back and forth between the two clubs, Arsenal and West Ham United, with regards to not the fee. The £105 million has been agreed, 100 million plus 5 million in add-ons. But what the back and forth was all about was the payment structure. How many years is this going to be paid over? Now, typically in transfer deals, if you pay 50 million for a player, it's not all just plonked down on the table all in one go. Unless it maybe, I don't know, maybe Saudi Arabia could do that. But football clubs, what they do is they spread the payment out over a period of years. And that way, you show less money up on your balance sheet. So for the club that's buying, they'd love to spread that payment over as long as possible. E.g. Chelsea with their 8-year deals, etc., which is now, that loophole's now been closed. But what a lot of teams like to do, spread it over, 3, 4, 5 years. West Ham wanted to spread the payment over 2 years. Arsenal wanted to spread it over 3 years or 4 years. They've reached a compromise. It is going to be 3 installments. Now, some detail coming out is saying it's going to be over 2 years. Some say it's going to be over 3 years. I'm not quite sure precisely. Nobody really is. But the one thing we do know is that the deal has been done and it's been confirmed. And Declan Rice is going to be an Arsenal player. They've done it. They pulled it off. Congratulations going out to Arteta, Edu, Richard Garlick, all of these guys who do the transfer business. This was a very, very difficult deal to get done. They had to do a lot of groundwork. I've spoken about this in shows before, to speak to Declan Rice and persuade him to come to Arsenal. That's what Edu's done brilliantly. They had to compete and beat off Manchester City, who, were coming in with a late bid and matching what Arsenal were doing. Arsenal had to go and outbid them. There's rumours that Manchester United came in with a late bid, which included players plus money. They beat them off. They have definitely pulled off a coup for one of the best players in English football. He's the most expensive British player to be sold in the history of the game, and it's gone to Arsenal. This is a statement signing without a doubt. He's 24 years of age. He was the captain of West Ham, just won them their first trophy in over 40 years. He's one of the mainstays of England, over 40 caps already at 24, and he's a truly exceptional talent, and he's now going to be at Arsenal. This is the type of signing that helps to push Arsenal forward for years to come. As I said, 24, not even in his prime yet. So for Arsenal to pull this one off is absolutely fantastic, and well done to the team. And there's some fans who owe, like Arteta and Edu, a bit of apology. I remember a couple of weeks ago, the absolute meltdown when City came into it. Sack Edu, Arteta, you guys can never get nothing over the line, blah, blah, blah. We do have to have a bit of patience sometimes when transfers are being done. Patience was needed in this transfer, and it's brilliant that we've got such a talented player through the door. But what does this mean for other players? I mean, Granit Xhaka, we spoke about this yesterday, and it was no sort of coincidence that all of a sudden we're hearing more details of his possible move to Bayer Leverkusen for £21.5 million. They've upped the money on that, so that can go to offsetting a bit of the pain of paying out 105 million for Declan Rice. But he's going to be going to Bayer Leverkusen. Expect more news on that over the coming days as well. But Granit Xhaka set to be leaving. Jurriën Timber as well is said to be, as soon as the Declan Rice one is sort of completed, that's going to be the next one announced, with a medical set for him as well, and hopefully to have him through the door in time for the pre-season, which kicks off next week when Arsenal go to Germany to play in Nuremberg. I'm not saying that those players will figure in that, but certainly Arsenal will want them to be part of the camp. So, yeah, pretty exciting at the moment with transfers. What's going to happen with Thomas Partey? Thomas Partey has been linked, as I've said many times on the show, with a move away. Saudi Arabia are interested. Italian clubs are interested. You've seen him back at the training ground. There's a lot of talk this week that he's going to be speaking with Mikel Arteta about his future. Now, a lot of the talk is that if he stays, they may not move for another defensive midfielder. If he goes, they most certainly will be, and they're going to want about at least £30 million for Thomas Partey. So let's keep an eye on that one and see how that situation develops. Arsenal linked today with a very talented player. He goes by the name of Oscar Gloukh. He's 19. He's from Israel, attacking midfielder, and a very talented one at that. Now, the Guardian claim that Arsenal are interested in him. He only joined his club, which is RB Salzburg, in January for €7 million, and already he is creating a lot of interest, around Europe with a lot of clubs. Some of the clubs that are interested in him: Arsenal, of course, Spurs, Manchester City, Manchester United, RB Leipzig, who of course is the parent club for RB Salzburg. They would like to bring him in. He's been hunted down by a lot of clubs, and they all see his talent. Now, we know RB Salzburg, they've produced some talented players in the past, right? There's a certain one playing at Man City at the moment who ain't too bad. So Arsenal said to be very, very interested in this young talent. Not sure what the fee would be, but it's probably going to be around about the £7-8 million mark. And his preference is said to be to go to either the Premier League or La Liga to play his football. So let's keep an eye on that situation. The one thing I think with Arsenal at the moment, even though they've got a lot of their set targets, they are on the lookout, as are all top teams, for any sort of exceptional talent that's coming through. And he's been one of those players that's viewed as one of those type of players. Arsenal also been linked today with Jeremy Frimpong of Bayer Leverkusen. Now, remember Frimpong? He was at Celtic before Bayer Leverkusen. I remember him at Celtic. Now he's a right back, and we seem to be getting to a link with loads of right backs recently. I mean, Ivan Fresnida's been linked. You know what I mean? I spoke yesterday about Heinrichs being linked, another right back. Cancelo is still being linked. I mean, are Arsenal really looking to bring in another right back? I mean, because, we've got, Ben White who's been playing in that position, Tomiyasu, Cedric's still here, by the way. So, but it's certainly all these right back links. Is Mikel Arteta looking to bring in a specific right back? Jeremy Frimpong, very, very quick right back, can play as a right back or a right wing back. Scored 9 goals and has had 13 assists in 69 games for Bayer Leverkusen. Still got a long contract, runs until 2025, but Arsenal said to be interested. Now, Manchester United were the team that were right at the forefront of this and were said to be the team really in the running to bring him in. However, as I said, Sport Bild are reporting, as they're a publication over in Germany, that Arsenal have now entered the race for him. Will take about £34 million to get it done. Is there anything in this? Let's track it and see how this one develops out. But Jeremy Frimpong, the speedster, Dutchman, being linked to Arsenal today. Following Balogun, by the way, that's still lingers on. Rumours yesterday that Arsenal are going to demand £50 million for Balogun, and they're right. I've been saying this all along. For me, £30 million seems too cheap. Look at that guy I just said there, Jeremy Frimpong, 34 million by Leverkusen want for him. Why would we want 30 million for Balogun after he just scored 21 goals in French football? He's now a full international playing for the USA, their main guy. Come on, 50 million at least. There's also talks that talk that Balogun's going to be sitting down with Mikel Arteta to discuss his future. So, and there's been some rumors that Mikel Arteta is a big fan of Balogun, may not necessarily want him to leave, might want to keep hold of him because he sees him as such a talent. So there are a lot of people who are saying that, you know, keep Balogun, sell maybe Eddie Nketiah. I do think one of those two are going to go, and it probably will be Balogun because of the amount of money that he will command. And when you think about the amount of money that Arsenal are spending, and they're looking at bringing in more players, you know, they really do need to get some money coming in, and that one makes perfect sense. But let's wait and see how that one develops out. Balogun, in a way, I'd love to see him in an Arsenal shirt next season just to see, you know, what he could do. Is he that answer to our, you know, as a striker? Is that answer right there? I mean, is he the next sort of Xhaka? So let's wait and see how that one develops out. But if they are going to sell him, 50 million is the rate, what is being quoted now to teams. Another young Arsenal player who could be on the move is Charlie Patino. Now, Patino, when he was signed at Arsenal as a kid, I think they got him from Luton, was deemed one of the hottest prospects in football. Everybody was talking about him. Everyone's excited about him. Made a couple of appearances for Arsenal before going on loan. He was on loan last season at Blackpool, did well, even though they got relegated, but he did well. The Blackpool fans really liked him. But it's back at Arsenal now. What is his future going to be? Now, there's talk that he'd like to go and play football regularly, and not really looking at another loan. Would like to go and play football. Still only 19, valued at around about £12 million. I'd love to keep him as well. Now, you know, Charlie Patino, as I said, is one of these exceptional talents that's out there. Maybe he lacks a bit of the physicality, but he's still only 19. I mean, maybe we should wait a bit before we do sell him. Again, you know what I mean? I look on it and you know, I just spoke earlier about, for instance, that Oscar Gloukh, sorry. The Israeli player, RB Salzburg, and all these teams are looking at him, and he's 19. So if you've got players in your own ranks like a Charlie Patino, why not go with them? Because he's an exceptional talent. So I wouldn't like to see Patino leave. I'd understand it. He's a professional. He wants to play football week in, week out. But let's see how that one turns out. But Patino being linked with a move away to Arsenal. And finally, well done to Arsenal ladies. The big signing for Arsenal ladies yesterday. Signed Alessia Russo, one of the top strikers in the game right now. And they got her for free. A real coup by Arsenal, because they tried to buy her in January, in the January transfer window from Manchester United. They put in a record bid for her, £450,000. I mean, the prices are way different to the men's game, isn't it? 105 million for Rice. She's like one of the top women's footballers, 450k. Maybe in years to come, that will be like, I don't know, 50 million. But that was refused by Manchester United. They didn't want to sell her. But she didn't sign a new contract with them, and now she's walked away and she's joined Arsenal for free. And it's a massive signing for Arsenal. They did a big announcement on it yesterday. And well done to Alessia Russo. She's of course going to be going with the England squad over for the World Cup as well. 24-year-old striker, really talented. Watch out for her for Arsenal women this year. Those are the rumours for today. So for me, good news. Declan Rice is going to be a gooner. Arsenal have pulled off a mega deal. What else is coming through the door? I'm really excited at the moment about Arsenal's transfer business. Thanks for watching the show. Don't forget, you can listen to this on all your streaming devices. So make sure you check it out there, and I will be back tomorrow. Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.